All right, we're back with Seth and Brittany at Coffee Kids and Crazy, and we're having lots of fun. I just first want to point out, nice shirt you have on there.
Discover, strengthen, thrive.
Which matches mine. You know, this is what happens when you're in the studio and there's merch. Why not?
Swap it out, change it up.
They're Loving on Purpose shirts. If you didn't catch that, they're lots of fun. I love them. But we have our meme.
Our awesome meme.
Our awesome
that goes
meme.
right along with what we're going to talk about.
It's so
today.
good. It's like smack dab perfect for our topic.
Okay, so here's what it is. You need 2 $5 bills. The child who drops the money first loses, and the winner keeps the money. Hours of peace. You can thank us later. And the picture is 2 kids. So if you have 4 kids, you need 4 $5 bills. But
Right.
they have the $5 bill on their nose, it looks like.
Yeah.
And they have their nose against the wall.
It's pinned up between the
And
two.
they are standing there holding the $5 bill with their nose. And the first one to drop it, the other one gets it.
So they could easily make $10. You probably could do this with $1.
You could definitely do this with $1 and get quite a lot of time of peace.
Potentially.
But-
Which a quarter might be a little bit more challenging.
Yes. A little less wiggle room.
That's true.
You can't adjust much and
Not so much.
lose it. Which brings us to our topic today. We are going to talk about money. We've answered quite a few questions here on the podcast. And one of our questions we get a lot is, what do you do with kids and money?
Like allowances.
Allowances.
Specifically. A lot
Things
of
like that.
yeah.
So that's what we're going to be talking about today. You want to go first or you want?
Sure.
All right, go for it.
So, I mean, my kids are 8, 11, and 15. And we have, I would say they have different chores or different things that I expect that are needed. And there's some things that we just do because we're a family.
Yeah.
And there's some things that
I
are,
don't get paid to take out the garbage. I pay money to take out the
Right.
garbage. So some stuff we do just because we're in
totally
the
like, we've got 40 animals and we all said yes to this. So they're out there filling waters and feeding the animals and cleaning out
poop.
goat sheds, which they don't have to do so much in the summer because all the goats want to be outside, which is great.
Nice.
So there's those things. And then there's my daughter who's 11, she just did 4-H this last year and she's never done it before, took this lamb to auction and she just got a check for $864.
Yes.
And she's like, money in the bank. I'm saving for a car, which I love.
Yeah. And she's 11.
She's 11.
Saving for a car.
Mm-hmm. So, we've had lots of conversations about money and about tithing as well, about giving and generosity. I remember Lincoln, we went to the store. He was behind a Lego because he had gotten an allowance and stuff like that. And he sees this homeless person and, they're asking for help. And, him and Ben walked into the store and Ben says, I'm sorry, I don't have any money. But Lincoln is just overwhelmed with compassion. And he said, Dad, I wish I had all the monies. I love how he said this. I wish I had all the monies because I would make sure that no one would be like that.
Wow.
And I'm just like, this is the beautiful thing of when we talk about having generous hearts and just being a people of generosity, that our kids just watch it and then it shifts their mindset from money, from it's mine, I have to protect it, to I want to steward this well and give it as a gift, which is just part of how we talk and all these things. So that's kind of what we do a little bit with money and how we do this. As I was telling Seth about this amazing app that I really love.
Yeah,
it's
I
called
can't wait
Greenlight. And it's connected to our account. So it's like the easiest way to send money to my kids.
Yes.
Which is because I don't have cash a lot.
Me
So
neither
this
anymore.
is a really great way to, oh, you did your chore? Okay, here's your allowance. Or, oh, you're going out with friends, you need money for food. Here
So
you
back
go.
up just for a second. You don't pay them for some of their chores, but you do pay them an allowance if they complete.
They have a
every-
list of
yep.
things that are theirs
That's
to
what we do too.
Like their rooms. I don't care if their rooms are messy or dirty. I just can close the door. It's not worth the fight for me. Some parents it really is, which you pick your own battles.
Yeah.
But for me, I think I can close your bedroom door and I don't even know
And
what's
go
going
on
on
with my life.
there.
Yep.
And you can live in that. I don't have to. But if
and
you,
your one daughter has the rabbit in there.
she does have a rabbit
I
in there.
hope you clean that room. It's going to smell.
Well, we have had conversations like, hey, if I can smell the bunny, there's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But that's only happened a couple times, so that's good. But it is the, if you want this, then I expect that.
Mm-hmm.
So they clean their room, they get money.
Yeah, sweet.
And, there's different things that they can contribute to keeping their TV and schoolroom clean. You guys do a good job of keeping that clean. You get to keep eating up there and you get money.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just little things like that you don't have to.
Yeah.
But you don't have to get money either.
Yeah. We had one of those times with our daughter. I think she wasn't that old, but she wanted a toy that was more money than she had.
Mm-hmm.
And so Lauren was like, well, you know what? I can give you a job and you can make money.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay. And so Lauren's like, well, would you like to clean the windows or fold the diapers? Because we did cloth diapers for her little brother. And so giving her the option, she's like, I want to fold diapers. I think she ended up doing both, but she wanted to fold diapers. And she's literally sitting on the floor. All she has to do is take the diaper, fold it in half, and set it here. Take the next one, fold it in half, set it on top, and just stack them up. And she's folding these diapers, and she's like, I don't like this. I don't want to do it. And Lauren's like, you don't have to do it.
Yeah.
Please,
if you're going to do that, stop.
Yeah, you do not have to do it. She's like, yes, I do. I want money. I want to get the money. And Lauren's like, okay, cool, keep going. And so she kept doing it, and she got her money, and then I think she wiped the windows, cleaned them as best as she could. And, I love that.
It's crazy.
I love teaching our kids. I've had some parents that are like, well, why would you pay them at all for any of this stuff? Mm-hmm. Like, okay, well, some parents give their kids an allowance without requiring them to do much. It's like, well, you're just giving them money for nothing as an allowance. This approach is a bit more like, oh, some stuff you have to do just because you're in the family. Mm-hmm. Other stuff you can do and you can make money. But teaching kids to learn, how to work for a boss, how to have an employment, how to you know what? I want something. I need money. How do I get money? Yeah. I find a job. Help me get a job. I got my job. I do my job. I get my money. I get my thing. That is a huge mindset to impart into our children that I really like in them.
And one of the other things that we do with Lainey, because she's older and she gets more money for her chores that she does have to do, is she's responsible for her friends' gifts.
Yep.
And she's responsible for all the she wants to go to Starbucks. She wants to go to In-N-Out after youth group. And those extra things, we say, you have this much money a month, you spend it however you want. You want clothes, you don't need clothes, but you want extra clothes, you want some extra makeup. That's her money to spend, because we're trying to teach her, your friend's birthday party's coming up. Oh, what money do you have on there? Well, I don't really have any money on there anymore because I spent it. And I'm like, oh, well, what are you going to do? She's like, so I've watched her get so creative at making stuff, baking cookies, making a really beautiful card, because she doesn't have the funds and she didn't want to do a job, which I'm like, this is yours to work out for your friend, not me. I'm not responsible for your gift for your friend. So this is the other thing that was required when she's got a higher dollar that's coming in every week.
We've done that too with the 10 and 7-year-old. They have to buy their own shampoo. School clothes. Now, we make sure there's money in there, but if they spend more on school clothes, they may not have enough for the friend's birthday party. Or if they blow through their shampoo because they're making silly bubble baths with their shampoo, it's like, oh, you need to buy new shampoo. Now you have less money from somewhere else. So we're trying to teach them the same kind of I have money for certain things. If I use all my shampoo, I may have to use money from birthday gifts or whatever. And we've watched them get super creative. We've also watched them where our kids are like, oh, Mom, I want to get my friend this $40 thing. And it's like, okay, well, if you do that, remember your best friend's birthday is in 2 weeks. So if you spend all $40 on one present, will you have anything left for your best friend? No. Okay. Do you want any money left for your best friend? Yes.
Please.
And so my daughter's over there working it out. Well, I'm going to get this one a $7 gift because I want to get my friend, my best friend, a bigger gift. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, this is great.
And I've watched, again, that place of generosity and tithing to the church and giving, watching them be generous in different ways, whether it's giving money to a homeless person or someone that's asking for help, or watching them, like I'm going to have a sleepover. Like just the other day, Addie, they did a sleepover at our friend's house, and she wanted to get all the kids. There's 6 kids going to be together, or actually 5 kids together at one house. She wanted to get everybody McDonald's before she went over there. I was like, why do you want to do that? She goes, because I just want us to have such a fun time. And so I want to get everyone McDonald's. Wow. I'm like, okay. So she spends $40, of her money to buy everyone McDonald's because she just wants to bless them. Wow. Which it's just, again, when we can see money as an opportunity to bless instead of an opportunity to take or bless ourselves, it's such a beautiful thing to watch. We've talked about her lamb money that she just got. Like, what are you going to do with that? How do you want to put it? You want to cash it and mommy hold it, so she's thinking through, because this is the largest check she's ever gotten for sure. And, but I love the vision that she's put into it, because how we talk and what we do with them, with money, and just this whole concept of ownership of, you can, like, her birthday, she got money for her birthday, and she knew her lamb money was coming, and she wanted to redo her room. She's like, I know my limit is whatever I get for my birthday, I'll put towards my room, and then I'll have to wait until I get more if I need more stuff for my room. Wow. But my lamb money is over here for my car someday. 11. She's 11.
This is so important. Actually, Proverbs 22:6, one of the most famous parenting verses and children's ministry verses all across the planet. Train up a child in the way they should go, and when they're old, they won't depart from it. You know what the next verse says?
Tell me.
The borrower is the slave to the lender. It's all about money coming right after train your children in the way they should go. And you've got an 11-year-old that thinks like that. So one of the things I want to teach my daughter too is how to take your money to make more money. And so like Addie did with the lamb, where it's like, oh, you put in a lot of time, probably spent a lot of money on food. This is work, but you took some money, bought some food, bought a lamb, etc., and now it's turning into $864. That's amazing. Like my daughter, when I first introduced that idea to her, she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, you have a lemon tree in the backyard with like 1,000 lemons on it. You could go buy some sugar, and we can make lemonade, and you can sell it. And she's like, really? And then we started talking about hiring her brother for marketing. So she goes to the store. She buys these 2 fluorescent yellow poster boards and writes organic lemonade $1. It's the cutest thing ever. I think she was like 8, and she makes this sandwich board sign, sticks it on her brother, and hires him to stand in the road and dance and market for her, right? And so then she goes and buys sugar. We make all the lemonade. I'm just out there to help make sure everything goes good, but I didn't do any of it, really. I helped her with the lemonade and stuff, but she's out there. She got a little like money box change, and she can do all this. People are literally pulling over, buying like 3 cups, 5 cups, giving her $5 for 1 cup. And in 20 minutes, she sold out, and she made $30. She cut her brother his percentage.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, my girl, Brooklyn, you took your money and made more money. And she's like, I know, I made way more than I ever could if I had just done chores. I'm like, I know.
Right.
And she loves it. Now she's over here. She's hustling. She has origami paper someone got
Addie
her.
and her would be good
I know.
friends.
I'm feeling it. And Lincoln and August would be great friends. She's got all this origami paper. And she's like, Dad, I'm going to make these origami boxes. So she makes these little boxes and then makes lids and like glues a little like ribbon handle on. And she's at church like, hey, and she's like making little ones out of paper and she's handing them out like samples. She's like, you know, I can make you a big one with origami paper, whatever color you want. You can have like purple with like string through it, all this stuff. And they're like, really? Yeah. She's like, yeah, that one's $3. I have a $2 version as well. And if you want the lid, it's $5. And she's literally got people at church going, yeah, I'll take one. Bring it next week. And she goes home and she's like, Dad, I texted all my grandparents. Like, I've made $8 in the last 5 minutes. I'm like, come on, girl. And she's over there like doing her little origami, and she's going to ship it to her grandparents or just give it to them next time they're in town. And she's going to go to church on Saturday night and pass out these boxes to her customers. And like, girl, this is what I'm talking about. I love this.
It is amazing. I think probably one of the biggest lessons that we watched Addie walk through was with her lamb when she had to face, it was hard work. Mm-hmm. She had to work with it every single day, like you said.
And it's a long time of hard work.
And it was months of hard work, and it wasn't always sunny. It wasn't always nice. Sometimes the lamb was very wet from all these things because its wool is, it's smelly. Didn't want to cooperate. She got dirty. All sorts of things, right? She got bumped in the nose one time and almost started, like, it didn't bleed, but it was like all swollen and she was crying. And that never feels good anyways. So, but it became like this frustration between her and I because getting her to do the chores, do what she said she was going to do, and me feeling like it became my job.
Yeah.
And so I remember talking with Ben, like, I'm all done feeling like I'm managing this because that's what's happening. And she decided to do this. It's harder than she expected. We're stuck in COVID, so there's not any help.
Yep.
And, it's very different. So he's like, okay, well, let's give her a choice. I was like, all right. So we sat her down and said, we believe that you could do this and you could do it really well. We believe that, you are so determined that when you say yes to something, you can make, you could really produce something with this lamb, like everything that you're supposed to be doing. But you have to choose it, and you haven't chosen it. And because of that, mom and dad are feeling like we're having to choose it for you and convince you.
Yep.
Did
you say something like, that means we're going to get the money?
I said, so here's the choice. I said, you can change your attitude and change your behavior, and we finish this out and you get all the money. Or we're going to go ahead and harvest the lamb now, and you will get nothing.
Wow.
So what do you want to do?
You weren't even going to take it over and collect the 860. Okay.
Well, I couldn't. I guess I could private sell it.
Because you're not in 4-H as a kid. Gotcha.
But I was going to, that we were done with it. You don't get anything. And she was already, she probably only had 2 months left.
Wow.
But it was exhausting.
Did she know it could be $864 too? She knew it could be big?
Yeah, she knew it could be over $500 is what we were telling her. So, I remember it was a Friday when we talked to her about it, and she said, can I have the weekend? I was like, okay. And so she took all weekend, and we come back to her.
Think.
Yeah. And on Monday, we came back to her and we're like, okay, what are you going to decide? Because this is the last time we're going to have this conversation.
Yeah.
I don't want this job anymore.
You choose or I choose.
But I believe in you, and I want you to be successful, but I don't want to fight you for it. I don't want to tell you every day you have to go out there. I don't want to do any of this. I'll help you.
I don't even want to remind you. Yeah.
I don't want to, you need it, because she'd come to me and be like, can you work with my lambs now? I'm like, I can't right now. She's like, oh, you're never, it became this thing. I was like, okay, this is not fun. So she decided she's going to do this lamb because she wanted the money. And then everything shifted, and she literally went to like, what's better for you today, in the morning or in the evening?
Wow.
And I'm like, actually, the morning today is better for me. She's like, okay, are you ready now, or do you need some more time? I'm like, okay, I can do it in 10 minutes. So everything changed. But the amazing thing for me was like the end result and what she got from the sale of that land. It just fueled.
It's not just the money in her account.
No,
it's all the internal shifts that took place doing this and working for months to get that money. Like,
it means something.
I love this. You have an 11-year-old.
Yeah.
That understands things many 30-year-olds do not even have a clue about.
Yeah, it was so much fun to watch.
In other words.
And then the other thing, she got second place. On top of that.
So she even got rewarded she's like,
for her hard work.
For her first time too, right?
Her first time, she got second place. And the comments were, we can tell that you put the work in. So, it was just so God of like, here you go, Addie.
The money's just the icing on the cake.
It was.
It's all the
but
other
it was
stuff
totally the
that
motivation
really,
for sure for her.
Of course.
But I think what she got out of it was way more than the money.
So in other words, because you and I have this same value, our families have this same value. Get kids on a farm.
Yes.
Animals.
Get a farm.
All the lessons they learn from animals and chores and rain and going out there, rain or shine, like that stuff is priceless.
It is. I think that animals, whether it's a fish or a guinea pig or a dog, it gets them to think outside of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had good friends that their girls wanted a dog forever. And they're like, the dog that we want, it's one that doesn't shed and all these things. And so it costs quite a bit of money.
Yes.
I think it was like, let's say $2,000, something like that. And they're like, so, we need to see your participation in investing in this. So they had something called dog dollars that they created.
Yeah.
And so the kids would do chores and put dog dollars in the jar.
To get their dog.
Mm-hmm. And they would do like, I don't want allowance this week. I want dog dollars. And so they would do these things to help provide to this animal that they wanted. And again, it's just like helping them grasp a concept of things that cost money. But not that we aren't able to say yes to them if we don't want to, but the value that comes with where I say yes and no in my finances and the power that comes with that, so like I remember we went to Disneyland. We told our kids, we can go to Disneyland, but that means we can't go out to eat every Sunday because we're putting it over here.
Yeah. We're taking
so is that the yes you want to take?
Eating out money to go to Disney. Yeah.
So we've included them in multiple decisions like that of helping them.
I love this. I have one more story.
Yeah.
That is burning.
Tell it.
So that verse, Proverbs 22, 6 and 7, and it finishes with the borrower is the slave to the lender. I felt like the Lord said, hey, it's time to teach your kids credit. I'm like, all right. So my son and I, at 7 years old, we're going to Walmart. No, this was when he was 6. We're going to Walmart to buy a special knife for a camping trip we were going on. So we're going to go camp. We need this a knife, a Swiss Army knife with a certain tool in it.
Okay.
So we go to Walmart to find it. They don't have it. But my son is like, Dad,
I need it.
Look. No, not the knife. He's like, look at what I found. And it's this pack. It's a hatchet, a machete, a knife, and a paracord, and sheaths, and all stuff. And he's like, oh, Dad, I want this. I'm like, did you bring your money, buddy?
Yeah.
He goes, no. And I remembered I'm teaching the kids credit. So I said, you know what? If you really want, I think it was like $27. It was something like, it was going to cost about $29 or $30 after tax or whatever. So I said, you know what? We could either come back next week. You can bring your money, or sometime in the next few days, we can come back another time. You can bring your money and you can buy it. $27 plus tax, probably around 30. I was just throwing figures at him, rounding up, and like probably about $30. And he's like, and I said, or I could buy it for you right now, and you can pay me when we get home. And he goes, really? I said, yeah, it's just going to be $33. Like, Dad, why would I pay $33 for this $27? So and I go, well, you don't have to. But so I'm charging him 10% credit, right?
Yeah.
So I said, interest. So I said, you don't have to, buddy. Like, you can wait a few days. You can come back.
It's a long drive between Walmart and home.
Oh,
that
man.
interest.
But here's what happened. Yeah. And then I said, or I'll get it. But when we get home, it's $33. And he's like, can I think about it? I'm like, yeah, let's walk around. We literally walked around Walmart for 20 minutes. And I'm just like, what are you thinking, buddy? What do you want to do? He's like, I don't know yet. And it's like I could almost see smoke coming out of his ears. His wheels are turning. What do I want to do? And I'm just like, I'm teaching you what credit is. You can have it now and pay more later than if you just get your money and pay for it. And so then he's like, after 20 minutes, like, Dad, I want to know. I'm like, you sure you want to pay me $33 for this 29 something, $30 thing? Yep, I do. I'm like, all right, let's go. So we go get it, and he's like, we get up there, boom, boom. I pay it. I show him. And I even explain, like, I'm using my credit card. So if I don't pay my credit card off right away, I actually have to pay more as well. So I'm going to pay mine right away. You pay yours right away. You pay a little extra. And then we get in the car. I'm like, son, if you want, you can pay me when we get home, or you can wait a week. But if you wait a week, it's going to be $36. He's like, Dad, why would I pay you $36? I'm already paying you $33. I'm like, well, you don't have to. You can pay me when we get home, or you can wait. The longer you wait, no problem for me. You can pay. I'm like, you can wait longer if you want, but it's going to keep
You're
going.
just frustrating him at this
I know,
point.
but think about this. He's learning this lesson at 6. You know how many people don't know this? They don't get it. They
No.
don't see it. They don't know. I'm like, this is one of the most valuable things I could ever teach my son when it comes to money. And he is literally sitting back there going, I am not going to
Did
wait.
he run into his room and give you?
Sprinted upstairs, comes down. He has $35. Like, you owe me $2 in change. I need it now. I'm like, let me go get your $2. I give it to him. And he's like,
He's like, I'm never working with you again.
yeah. It's like, I'm never doing credit again. I'm like, maybe a good idea, somewhat. Like, but I wanted him to understand.
Yeah, that's great.
You just pay more. If you get it on credit, it's cool. It's going to cost you more. So you got to make those decisions about whether or not you're going to use credit or you're going to wait and save and work and build and then use your money. But I was so proud of him. I was like, son,
good job.
Good job thinking.
Yeah.
And that 20 minutes around Walmart was so priceless for me. Like, I love this.
Yeah.
He is really, really working in his head.
That's awesome. Well, I think that, the takeaways from this would be, to really, how can you make some adjustments instead of everything's for free or there's no room for opportunities for you to learn how to steward things. Like what's the needs that you have? And I think a lot of people question, like, what chores can I give for what age groups, so I think, emptying the dishwasher, like the silverware, super easy for a young kid, really easy to do.
We totally did silverware first.
Yeah. Wiping down baseboards is another really easy chore for a young kid. Just soapy water on a rag.
Even sometimes cleaning the windows. Like if you have a sliding glass door or something, that's
especially where they're the ones getting.
If you have a dog, it's like the dog gets it dirty at their level. They're the ones getting the fingerprints on it at their level. Like, you can reach all this. Or 95% of it you can reach.
Emptying and loading the dishwasher, that you start to get a little bit more skills needed for loading sometimes. Sweeping, mopping, those are all really great.
Vacuuming's good too.
That's really good. I think that even raking or getting them outside, cleaning up dog poop, that's one of Lincoln's that he has to do.
My sons hate dog poop.
Yeah.
So I use that for nighttime. Yeah. And they don't want to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't have to go to sleep. You can scoop the poop. No, I'm
in
going
the
to
dark
sleep.
with a flashlight.
I'm going to bed, Dad. Cool. Whatever
Great.
you want.
So I think that those are all just chores. I push on the bedroom one. I know a lot of people are like, well, they should make their bed.
I like that
they
bedroom
should,
one.
Have a clean room, which I get. Like you do you. I'm fine. For me, it's a place of, I don't want to fight over how you're going to live inside your room because I don't have to be in there. So I would rather close the door and us not be a part of our relationship, especially with the teenager. I've learned, like, wow, this is exhausting and not worth it for me. So those are the different stages I think of for chores and different things like that. But I would encourage everybody out there to look at this. Where can you challenge yourself and with money, with your kids, and opportunities of seeing it differently?
What pets can you introduce?
Can you move to a farm? Is that a reality?
Yeah.
There you go. That's the takeaway from money, is maybe move to a farm. But
and the other 1,000 lessons that come from it.
Yes, exactly. All right. Well, awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining. We had a lot of fun. And
money talks.
We'll see you.
We've talked about money, sex. I love it. Next is rock and roll. Just joking.
No.
Drugs and rock and roll.
These are all episodes. In case you missed it, you can go and find them. But yes, so we will see you around next time. And thanks so much for listening and joining us.
Goodbye.